Hey guys, it is 9 p.m. on Monday night and we are live on the Curve, people. Yes, we are back. I am your girl, Shannon Deneen, and once again, we are around the table to get a little hot topic chat in, to talk about some things, celebrate a little Black history, and go on home. Of course, I'm around the table with my lovely co-host. It's Miss Melissa. Where can the people find you, Melissa?
The people can find me at Missy W 1913 on Instagram, and that's also my Cash App.
Hey, come on, Cash App, come through.
It's still Valentine's Day.
Come on, that's it. That's it. And my other amazing co-host, Miss Tony Campbell.
Yes, you can find me as Tony G. Campbell on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Cash App, if we doing that.
Yeah, I know,
also,
right?
Yeah. Friday mornings at 10 a.m. on the Curve live on Facebook.
Absolutely. And of course, I'm your girl, Shannon Deneen, and you can find me on all social media handles at Shannon Deneen, and of course on my website, shannondeneen.com. And of course, make sure you are following the Curve so that every Monday night when we go live at 9, you're getting the notifications so you can come join us for hot topics and girl chats and all the things that we're talking about, child, because we get into it on Monday nights, don't we?
Yes,
Every
we
Monday.
Every Monday. All right. Well, y'all ready to get started?
Let's go.
All right, guys. It is time for Word on the Street. All right, y'all. So last week, lots of things happened, but we are going to start with one of my favorite events of the season, the Academy Awards, the Oscars, people. It was the 91st Oscars, and it happened last night, and it was a time, was it not?
Yes,
I enjoyed
it.
I
without
enjoyed
a host.
Yes, well, you know what? Here's the thing, and this I can only speak for myself. It saved Black History Month. It saved Black History Month because with everything that had been going on, and then with Kevin Hart not hosting, I was like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? I was really tuning in to see like what was going on.
If they were gonna film miserably,
Yes.
that's what I was.
They didn't do a Grammys on us. They came back and snatched Black History Month.
They did.
Come through Oscars.
I loved it because it felt like all the actors and actresses and presenters and people who came out really kind of banded together and was like, okay, everybody, we're going to make it work. We're going to figure it out.
Absolutely.
We don't have a host. This
Absolutely.
is actually the 5th time in history that the Oscars has not had a host.
Really?
The 5th time in history. In their 91 years, they've had a host all those other years, but 5 times they have not had a host, and I feel like this one went off without a hitch.
Listen,
Yes.
it went well because we had our cousins in the audience.
Yeah, we did.
We had our cousins in the audience. I felt like that was family.
Yeah.
And I mean, even you know how we can be. Let me speak for me. Because when Regina King won, I said, "Let's go, Brenda. Let's go, Brenda. Let's go, Brenda.
We have loved you
Baby.
since the 227 Regina King.
227.
She was so elegant last night. It was just so amazing. That dress was just
That white.
White was everything. I was
And let
like,
me
you
tell
better
you
go
something.
to
She
your wedding,
is in
friend. You better
shape.
do it.
She's in great shape because, TV adds a little weight to you. She looked amazing.
And that dress gave her some hip action.
Yes.
I appreciated that because she was like, you know what? I don't have hips, so let me get some creative, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
I loved her. I loved all the speeches.
Do we know who did her dress? Was it Christian Siriano? Maybe. I'm not sure because
I don't know.
I love Christian Siriano. I think he's an amazing
He is
designer.
amazing.
Yes.
He, by the way, designed Billy Porter's tuxedo dress situation.
Oh my gosh, that was my favorite.
That was your favorite, friend?
No, that
of
was a
the
mess.
No, I
That was a
loved
mess.
it
That was a
because
mess.
that was so his personality, first of all, and just I couldn't see that
prom
tuxedo.
dress?
I couldn't see that tuxedo on anybody else but him. That was so Billy Porter. That was him all the way.
It was very Billy Porter. Listen, there was a part of me that lived. There was a part of me that was like, because he was doing something different, it was exciting to watch. It was exciting to see. There was a part of me that was like, ooh, and then there was a part of me that was like, but girl, he's still a man in a dress. And I struggled.
Like
I
I'm
love
out of the fence with none of that. 'Cause I'm from the Boy George era. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
I get it, but I was like, nah, you can miss me with that. Like I get it. Just again, my own little personal feelings. Like I feel a certain type of way about how we emasculate men of color.
There was a lot of talk about that. So I'll give you one other moment that happened that I struggled. So Brian Tyree, isn't his name Brian Tyree? The guy, he plays in Atlanta, which is a cult classic. And if you have not seen Atlanta with, not Childish Gambino, what do we call him now? Donald Glover. If you have not seen Atlanta with Donald Glover, he plays Paperboy in Atlanta.
Was he the one with the red velvet?
No, girl. He was the one. He was the one who presented for best costume designer, and he had on the dress with the hat and the foolishness with Melissa McCartney.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know who that was. I was like, who is this dude?
I'm thinking he was hoping that nobody knew who he was too. I felt like it was.
I felt like he was trying to make a statement. Like there are several people that I felt like were uncomfortable, and we can even go. Like I felt like Lady Gaga looked beautiful, but she was uncomfortable when they showed her on the red carpet, because you have to think there are so many times where she is dressed up like there's a costume-ish. So her being her natural self, she kind of rubbed her hands and had a little hand action going
that's
on.
what that entire
she's been
movie was
doing.
about. It's because when she came out, she had to create that persona because she was scared to be herself in front of everybody, and because people did look at her and was like, "Oh, girl, and she's a beautiful woman." I don't know what people's issue is with
amazing
her nose.
voice.
It's her nose. It's the people used to make fun of her nose.
Her nose.
And,
I mean,
well, you know what? Black people would have had nose jokes. Look at Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Them Jacksons, them Braxtons.
All of them
Your
guys.
noses was thick.
Yeah.
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
We've been going through it for years, and we just kind of accepted it. When we got a little money, changed it. But she's an amazing performer.
So
She's
talented.
beautiful.
So
and I
talented.
love that creative side, but you can very well tell where she kind of struggled a little bit on the red carpet. But I mean, that whole, I feel like be who you are. If you're going to wear it well. But there are some people that I feel like they were kind of pushed into some things that they weren't really comfortable with. And the guy from Atlanta was one of them.
Absolutely. He was that. I did not appreciate that. However, shout out to Ruth Carter, who won
Come on,
for
Auntie Ruth.
best costume
Yes.
And her dress
designer.
was amazing.
Her dress,
Her
she lived.
costume. I feel like she wore her costume.
I have to shout out my soror. Angela
She
Bassett
is.
came through.
Ruth Carter is just over too.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, soror, too. Now, all them deltas was in the house.
Yes.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
Auntie Angela was serving it.
Yeah, she was.
Always.
Yeah, she was.
But I said, look at you.
Yeah.
Almost made me want to go back vegan for a minute.
For just a minute.
For a minute.
Just a minute. That's
For a
all you
minute.
need. I'll tell you somebody else who made my heart happy.
Who?
Hannah Beachler, who won for production design for Black Panther.
Yes.
Her speech gave me chills.
Yes.
I mean, everything about it. She thanked Ryan Coogler, of course. She's been working with him since Fruitvale Station, which
was an amazing movie.
An amazing movie.
And I didn't know she worked with him then either.
Here's a fun fact. She also did the visuals for Lemonade.
What?
Come through, Hannah. Come on, Beyonce. Yes. She worked with Beyonce to come up with the visuals. She worked on that with Beyonce.
Wow.
She of course did Creed. She's done some other things, and then she's done Black Panther.
I need to go back through and look at these people one more time.
Yeah, Hannah Beachler is, and the one thing I love about her, she's real. Like, she's really authentic. She tweets a lot, and so you'll see on her Twitter, like, she's in Hollywood, but she's not Hollywood. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like Issa Rae.
Yeah.
She has that type of vibe to her.
Very, very much that vibe. And so I was really excited about her winning. She came through with this amazing red dress.
Yes. Beautiful.
That dress was everything. Beautiful. And the hair, I loved her natural hair. She had like a big kind of mohawky concept going on. It was gorgeous,
now, I'm going to tell you who else came through.
Who came through, friend?
That I love.
Who you love?
That's Spike Lee.
Oh,
baby. Did you see those Jordans?
I did.
Did you see the Jordans? And on the back, he had the 40 acres and a mule.
He did.
And it said Spike Lee. I loved it. I loved what his wife had on.
Mm-hmm. You didn't love his purple?
My immediate look was like, why that man got on so many colors? Like,
I love it. Be true to yourself.
But I'm like, okay, is this him getting old or who?
No, he dresses like that all the time.
He
At
does.
the games.
But I think that's because he's getting old. See what y'all?
Yeah, because
you don't care. When you start getting old,
listen, you wear what you want to wear, and ain't nobody gonna tell you nothing.
Did you see he wore the Radio Raheem 3-ring ring that said love?
I saw the Radio Raheem
It has
ring.
been such a long time coming.
Yeah.
Because he really should have gotten an Oscar for Malcolm X.
Absolutely.
He really should have gotten one, and he was shunned for that. So to see him, like last night, I felt like was a night for people of color.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, and not just the African Americans, but everyone across the board.
Absolutely. The guy who won for portraying Queen, not Queen, what is
Freddie
his
Mercury.
name? No,
Freddie Mercury.
Yes, Freddie Mercury. He won, and I was so excited to see him win, and to like his acceptance speech also moved me. I was like, "Oh, you won."
Well, let's go back to speeches.
Go back
I'm
to
gonna tell
speeches,
you who helped me.
Who helped you?
I'm gonna tell you who helped me, and
Who
I
helped
felt
you?
like somebody might get her acceptance speech in a text message.
Okay.
And that was that Lady Gaga.
Yes.
Lady Gaga said them boyfriends told her she wasn't gonna be nothing.
Listen, I posted it today on Facebook.
Yeah, I saw that.
I absolutely posted that. I said in my post, I was like, I don't know if me and Lady Gaga have dated the same dude, if we got the same friends, but I felt every bit of that because
genuine speech
about people told me I was not going to make it.
Absolutely.
And as talented and as beautiful and wonderful as Lady Gaga is, she is a musician, she's a singer, like she has all of these, she's an actress,
awesome.
And she's amazing. And for people to not see that, like, and for her to like keep persevering and to use that and take that thing that makes her different and use it to
people will look at you and look at your greatness and try and beat it down because they don't want you to be great.
You better preach a word.
That's what they do.
You better preach a word.
And I think my favorite speech of the night was Olivia Colman.
Okay.
Just because, first of all, she's the one who won Best Actress. For The Favorite.
Okay. Oh, the green dress.
Yeah.
Short hair. Yes.
She won, and first of all, she was like, oh my gosh, like Glenn Close. She was like, I have followed you ever, and I didn't, this is not how I wanted to meet you, beating her because, Glenn Close has never won an Oscar.
Which I still cannot believe.
I can't believe that either. I'm like, I was shocked at how many people, they were like, this is their first Oscar. I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
You know what?
Right.
I'm with Issa Rae. I'm cheering for everybody black. I don't care if it is their first time. I don't care if it is their first time. It's the first time for everything because for how long have we been shunned as people of color of awards? There were times where we weren't even invited. You know what I mean? So for you to be nominated 8 and 9 times and not win, I feel like, heck, we just got to the party, so it's time to dance.
Yeah.
Like, if we have to come and knock it out every time.
Let's go.
So my thing is, too bad, too sad next year.
Speaking of people who knocked it out of the park, shout out to Mahershala Ali for Green Book. Now, I know there was a great deal of controversy around the movie itself, but shout out to him for pushing through the controversy. He is only the second actor of color ever to win multiple Oscars. Denzel Washington is the first. Nobody else other than the two of them have ever, as people of color, have ever won more than one Oscar. So shout out to him.
Denzel?
No, he is not.
No.
Just Whoopi Goldberg is the only one that she got.
John Legend.
John Legend. There's a couple of them.
There are a few. John Legend's one. Whoopi Goldberg's one.
Listen, let me tell you something. This is how I feel about all these people that were nominated.
Yes.
If the Migos can win an Oscar, there's hope for everybody.
There is hope for everybody. I agree. Yeah. I agree.
I have one question.
Yes.
How did y'all feel about Queen Latifah's dress?
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
Mm-mm.
She wore this black shiny thing, and the first thing I saw Queen Latifah's dress, I was like Matrix, because that's what it reminded me of. I was like, why she's too tall and boobalicious to wear that shiny.
Let's see what she had on.
I don't know, friend. Let me see. You know whose dress I love? We're going to go back to Queen Latifah when this pulls up, but you know whose dress I absolutely adore? I can. That does look like the Matrix.
Yeah, that looks like beautiful. The Matrix, right? I love it. I think it looks very flattering on her.
You know what she looks like? Y'all remember the Missy video? I can't stand the rain.
With the big
That's what she looked like with the trash bag. Yeah. That's what it looked like.
I don't have my glasses on, but it looks flattering from here.
It was not.
It wasn't flattering?
No, friend. That was not.
I feel like she's too boobalicious and tall or something. But now, for some reason, I just have an issue with women wearing tuxedos. But really? Aquafina, I didn't like Amy Poehler's was horrible,
really?
And some
I just
other
don't like Amy Poehler. Like she can't wear nothing right. That, but
I did.
Whoever dresses her.
I did like Aquafina's because hers was pink and glittery with the huge bow. That was beautiful.
It had the bow on the side. It was the one with the bow on the side, right?
Was it on the side?
I think it was
on the side. Yeah. Here's my thing. Some of them look absolutely great, but then some of them were. And I was all in the television screen looking at their dates. Like, I love Spike Lee's wife's dress.
Oh yeah,
I love that. Wife's dress I didn't like. Who? What's his name?
Mahershala Ali.
I didn't like his wife's dress.
I don't know.
I didn't know what she was
What did the dress look like? It was blue. Let me tell you something.
It looked like a kimono.
Yeah, kimono.
Yeah, that's what it did. It looked like a kimono.
I couldn't take my eyes off of Spike Lee's wife. I said that is maybe because I like neon colors. I like neon colors.
Yeah.
And so that black heart shape, and she just had the A-line skirt that was lime green. Amazing.
The pinks last night were popping. Lots of the actresses had on these gorgeous pink dresses that I loved.
Who else had on?
Really enjoyed that situation. Keep doing that, y'all.
Oh.
What? Who?
I guess this was one of the awkward moments of the night. Did you see Jennifer Hudson's face when Ashley said was like, give it up for the Kurve girls?
Yes.
Jennifer, I don't think she wants to be associated with us anymore, y'all.
No. She, Ashley Graham, okay, so she talks about this. She is still considered a curvy girl based on her
No, not Ashley.
Oh, Jennifer Hudson. She doesn't want to be a curvy girl.
I don't think she wants to be a curvy girl anymore. And she looked at Ashley like, I know you ain't just say that to me.
But Ashley, but
she's still a curvy girl here.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and that's where the fight is.
Yeah.
Because technically she is still a curvy girl, but here she is the original size that's why she got mad.
Now that could be true.
That's that whole body dysmorphia. Yeah. That's what it is.
That's a thing.
Yeah,
but she got to get over that.
That was like,
you got to get over. Yeah, I saw the.
But here's the thing: Jennifer Hudson has a really bad habit of not being gracious on red carpets and when she's doing interviews. And I completely I understand, like, you don't want people coming for you, but it's like she always feels like somebody is coming for her on a red carpet. Girl, these people ain't coming for you. Ashley Graham, this is her first red carpet, child.
Yes.
She's interviewing. She's trying to do her job, honey.
She's trying to make sure she get invited back next year.
Come on now. She's trying to get these checks. And ain't nothing wrong with that. And here's the thing.
I think that might be a Midwest thing.
Maybe so.
I think because that's that Chicago all the way.
I guess because
it is.
Every time,
she
talks real fast and all of that is all that attitude.
Now that I think is just personality.
I
think that's just personality.
Even when she gets on stage and sings, she just stands there like, y'all need to appreciate me because I'm here. And
I like Jennifer Hudson.
I love Jennifer Hudson.
I like her voice. I don't like her attitude.
To me, I think there are certain places and certain people her performances are different. Like when she's paying tribute to someone and they're in the audience, like the Shaka Khans, and when she did the Aretha Franklin, you see a totally different her.
Agreed.
But I need her to be that way all the time.
Every time.
Every time.
Because that attitude is a mess, and I can't do it.
Well, she over there dating the guy from Flavor of Love.
Did they get a divorce?
What, did they get a divorce?
David
the attorney, that boy went to stand. Now, I would have been mad if I was his mama.
Yeah, I would have
spent all that money to send you to Stanford.
And now you want to be a wrestler.
Now you want to be a WWF wrestler. Let's talk about it. Give me my money back.
Give me my points back, little boy. Absolutely. But yeah, Jennifer Hudson. Ooh, speaking of Ashley Graham, she looks amazing on the red carpet.
Did.
That black dress was everything.
That was snap. Now that's a black dress I can get behind.
Yes.
That was nice.
So I've been told that the Regina King dress is Oscar de la Renta.
And he comes through every time.
He is a sure bet, honey. He is a sure bet. Christian Siriano designed Billy Porter's. Did I say that? He designed Billy Porter's tuxedo gown concept.
I don't want nothing to do
that
with
looks
that.
like, but that looks like something Christian would design.
It does. It absolutely does.
I think it was just because that was his personality, and with all the tuxedos basically looking the same, except for like Ryan Seacrest had a little burgundy laceness going on, and
not accurate, girl, because all the young men from Black Panther, all of them came through looking like royalty. The Chadwick Boseman with that
chocolate snack,
he had vibranium
looking like a
in his
snack. Yes, vibranium in his tuxedo, honey, looking like a straight snack.
It looked like them first 5 rows looked like a family reunion.
It really did.
The first 5 rows.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed seeing them win and be happy.
Yes.
And their speeches were so sentimental because a lot of times, I was reading something today where they were saying how people really don't understand how long they've been in this business, whether it was them starting out as extras and working their way to this place. And Black Panther was really just a gamble.
Yeah.
And the community came out.
And got behind it.
And that's why it got so many accolades, but they didn't anticipate it being this big.
Absolutely.
And receiving all of these awards. I said, come on through, cousin.
Yes.
I'm really sad that Ryan Coogler did not win Best Director. I really feel like he got...
he did, because they were giving away too many awards to us.
Yeah.
So they had to level it out. And it was just the truth.
It's the truth. I feel like that was stolen from him because I did happen to see all of those movies that were in the Best Director category, and I must say Ryan Coogler's was a better. But I feel like here's the other thing I think the Academy thinks about. Some of the directors who are picked or people who are chosen when they are kind of on the last leg of their career.
Look at Spike Lee.
Exactly. I feel like Ryan Coogler has time. Like I think he's at the very beginning and the precipice of what he's doing.
The thing about it is, going back to what counts. What counts is that he got the nomination.
It really does.
That speaks volumes because it says I can compete within this realm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It certainly does. Well, speaking of competing in this realm and wonderful things happening, let's talk about some other Black history that's going on. So, the other morning on the Breakfast Club, y'all know I love the Breakfast Club. Shout out to Charlamagne the God.
When does this come on? Because I'm at
Uncle Charla.
Every morning.
Or you can watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, so I typically.
I was gonna say, what time is that?
I don't know, but I typically catch it on YouTube. Like YouTube, I have my alert set up so that
I think my husband watches it, but
I love the Breakfast Club. Shout out to Charlamagne the God, who is like literally my mentor in my head. Don't really love Angela Yee, but I do like Charlamagne.
I love Angela Yee, and I love DJ Envy. Like, DJ Envy brings that sensitivity to it.
He does,
because he's super sensitive.
He is. He's super sensitive. But that's my boy, and I appreciate the sensitivity. Okay, I'm sensitive too. I get it. I get where you're coming from. But I definitely love Charlamagne the God and all of his
shenanigans
and shenanigans. Anywho, Van Jones was on the other morning talking about prison reform, and he has a organization. He's now working with an organization called the Reform Alliance. If you don't know about it, go ahead and look it up. The Reform Alliance is basically, so here's what happened. Y'all know Meek Mill went to jail, right?
Yes.
Went to jail on some foolishness.
Popped a willy.
In
the neighborhood, was on probation.
Exactly.
Violation of probation. They sent him to prison.
And then he got the worst judge ever
in all the history of judges. And she was like, I'm tough on crime, I don't play, and I don't care if you Meek Mill. And she gave him all the time that she could possibly give him.
Shout out to Jay-Z for footing a bill for him.
Yep.
For all of that. All of his lawyer fees were paid by Jay-Z.
Absolutely. So here's the thing. Jay-Z, Meek Mill, Robert Kraft, some other folks came together and said, hey, this is a problem. We've got people serving huge sentences for doing minor things like being late to a meeting or popping a wheelie or just minor running a red light. We've got people doing hard time for minor stuff, and there needs to be prison reform that occurs. Now, it took a situation like Meek Mill's to bring shed more light on the situation, and because these billionaires are coming in kind of putting money behind it, because Meek Mill and Jay-Z are somebody that they've run across, somebody they know, somebody they're familiar with. So now he started he is working with the Reform Alliance to get some of the sentences reduced and get some of the laws changed. They're beginning to lobby in, I think they said 12 states on the Breakfast Club. Yeah, they're starting out with 12 states lobbying to get those laws changed. So, question on the table. Robert Kraft is involved, people. Robert Kraft, in case you didn't know, he is the owner of the Pistons, right? Patriots. Sorry, the Patriots. He's the owner of the Patriots.
So let's talk about Robert Kraft.
Let's talk about it for a minute.
Let's put a pin in. Okay, we're going to come back to reform.
We're coming back to reform, people. We got to talk about Robert.
Because Big Daddy Rob got caught this weekend in the spa trying to get a happy ending. He's the owner of the Patriots. And this spa was known for human trafficking.
Which y'all know is a huge topic for me. I am a human trafficking and sex trafficking advocate. Advocate and lobby for women who have been through the system and been trafficked. So this was a touchy issue for me because on one end I'm like, Robert, I just saw you doing the good work for the people. But on the other end, and then on the other end, I struggle. I suffer with, I want him to do right, but.
Across the board. See, that's where that consistency comes into play.
That's really a
But
thing.
let me shout out one person on the local level that is doing it and working with prison reform. I want to say he just met with the governor today, and that's Leonte Benton.
Okay, hey Leonte.
Leonte just met with the governor. If you follow him on Instagram, Facebook, you can see where he met to talk about reform within our state.
Absolutely.
And just Atlanta bred, Atlanta fed, raised right here, and so that is a big issue. Seeing people attack reform, not just on a federal level with celebrities, but seeing some of our local hometown heroes really addressing it as well.
But see, here's the thing, and I know that that we, of course, have a new governor. Well, we don't necessarily want, but we got one. A new governor here in Georgia. But Nathan Deal, the prior governor, was actually really big on prison reform because, listen, prisons are they're sucking away our economy. They're not good. They're not necessarily good business in Georgia. And so he was really, Governor Deal was really instrumental in starting that conversation and trying to get the Republican Party to move towards prison reform. And now
but here's the thing.
They're continuing that conversation.
This is what I love about what he attempted to do.
Okay.
Let's talk about Nathan Deal, because it wasn't because I felt like he felt like, oh, we have so many people of color in the school to prison pipeline. We need to address that. It was more set on the economic development side because I used to work for the Department of Corrections, and so he was really big on making sure, our recidivism rates, that was something that was widely discussed.
Absolutely.
And we're training them for those skilled trades positions because Atlanta has so many new construction going on, and there aren't enough people to supply the demand with jobs.
Absolutely.
So how about we train them and we'll hire them for these positions? So, but there were some limitations in regards to pay. There were some issues in regards to expungement. Like some things could be expunged and some things couldn't. And so that was the issue. And when we talk about prison reform, to me, I'm trying to understand why in states like Colorado haven't we released those people who were on that whole 3 strikes deal with Colorado and with California for distribution of marijuana when it's not legal there?
Yep.
So I don't understand. And then for those who have been convicted of marijuana distribution, they cannot own any type of dispensary. Why not?
Which doesn't make sense to me. They were using it before. They probably know where the good stuff is.
Right, and know how to grow it. They were part of that whole process. So that's where those limitations and reform, like how can you take something that someone did, and a lot of times, just to be honest, it's for survival.
Absolutely.
Because you have people that had to drop out of school for whatever reasons it may be. You know, and now I'm out here trying to survive, and you won't take this off my record, and you won't allow me to do what I, had a business and it was booming and growing, and now you're telling me I don't have access to that. So when we talk about prison reform, I really feel like those are things that we have to address.
Absolutely.
Are they going to, we can't expunge some things and not expunge all.
Well,
when it comes to
I'm
talking about when it comes to distribution and marijuana and things of that nature, not pedophilia.
I think we can expunge. No, I think we can expunge things that have to do with marijuana.
Absolutely.
I think that we cannot expunge. There are other hard drugs that we cannot expunge just because.
Well, let's talk about it. Because here's the thing: why can't you expunge crack, but it's okay for you to distribute Adderall?
Oh, I don't think either of those is okay.
Or the opioid. That's a big discussion right now.
Well, that's because, because opioids does not affect the African American community as it does.
And the way they treat opioids with sending them to rehab, and they treat crack addicts as sending them to jail.
Van Jones said that exact same thing on The Breakfast Club.
That's what it is.
Yeah, he
and I mean, coming from that, but that's what I'm saying. So if you have a distribution for cocaine, or they call it different types of substances, level 1, level 2, whatever. However, that can be expunged from your record. But when you have those who have distribution of pills, it's a totally different sentence.
Well,
it's a totally different consequence.
Is it like prescription pills distribution, or just
See, to me that doesn't matter, because to me pills are just as
lethal,
just as lethal and just as bad as an opioid or crack.
But I think it takes it to another level when it's a doctor who have licenses through the state and the government to say, okay,
but I
have licenses to legally distribute this, but then I'm going to sell it on the side to people who I ain't supposed to.
Well, what happens is how this distribution thing really happens when it comes to that. Let's talk teenagers. So you gonna have your teeth pulled. Your dentist says, okay, what do you want? And they give you a long list of what you can have, or you have some type of surgery, or whatever it may be.
Gives you a choice.
Let me tell you something. I'm not telling who my dentist is, but I drive way out because I have a little medical condition where I get anxiety when I go to the dentist, and I can get just about anything if I want it from my dentist.
Now, I was about to say, I've had issues going to, and he may have prescribed me a volume, but he's not going to give me a whole list of drugs and say, girl, what you want?
He says, do you want this, and it's the strong stuff. And I'm usually like, no, that's not what I want. But think about those who don't say no.
Yeah.
So now you have a child who's a teenager.
Looked at
well, no, it's legal. It's legal because of my medical condition. It's legal. However, because of my knowledge in what this does and how it can start an addiction. So what if that person wasn't like me and said yes? So they give you 10, right? And you have a teenager, because there's a certain school that had a whole operation going where the kids were putting them in markers, different color markers, and they were selling them within the school. That's how they were moving the drugs around with prescription medications.
Okay, time out. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Time out. So the children, the kids, were putting pills in markers. See, this is the kind of stuff. This is what Killer Mike was talking about. No, this is what Killer Mike was talking about. That's the kind of stuff that we've got to take and redirect. If you have a child who can figure out how an entire distribution system needs to work on the low, you need to take that child. That child needs to be in entrepreneurial classes ASAP.
So the question was, okay,
they don't need to go to jail.
But if my mother and my father is a doctor, you know, do you know how many people in the medical profession have been sent to rehab for stealing prescription drugs from the hospital?
Yeah.
It happens every day, all the time. So when we talk about reform, the reform is for us, not them. Yeah. Because like you said, it's a whole reform, meaning you have to restructure my life, meaning you have to give new options to me for a life when your options were never taken. Yeah. Your options were put on the medical end where your insurance could cover it, where my options were to go to prison. Yeah. And that impacts your livelihood for the rest of your life. Do you know how many doctors have been sent to rehab, have been sent to receive some type of psychological services because of their addictions, and they were still practicing on people.
Not jail.
That's crazy.
It is
because
crazy.
Even like I know me, it's me and my husband. We are hard to numb now because we have something in us that gets us excited. So when we get to doctors, he can poke us 10. He said he can't do more than 20, but he can poke us that, and we still won't numb. But there is a regiment of like, don't eat this the night before, do Tums. He doesn't just go straight for the drugs. Like, I feel like there's an issue of people like, I'm going to just go straight to the drugs.
But see, no. Yeah, so but that has to do with the fact that in this country, doctors get paid, and doctors are provided with resources in order to medicate you. Like, medicating you is the goal. And so the amount of prescriptions that they can give out it speaks to the number of kickbacks they get. Like, there's a whole thing, girl.
But that reform part, to me, that's educating us on there's so many things when it comes to understanding and talking to your children about the law, what is legal, what is illegal, and then speaking to them about being people of color and what that looks like. And unfortunately, some of the conversations that I've had with my siblings, especially my brothers, is you are in the South. Yeah. I'm sorry. You can cut it how you want to. You are not back in Michigan. There are things that you were permitted and could get away with when you were in Michigan that you cannot do here, and especially living in Tennessee. It's not going to happen, not in Knoxville, Tennessee. And so we have to be honest about what the consequences are. And my brother's thing was, well, my friends were doing it. Okay, your friends are white.
I don't care about your friends.
Your friends white.
I don't care about your friends, because I guarantee you, if you and your friends go to the same courtroom and get the same judge, y'all all going to get different sentences.
Absolutely.
Yours is absolutely going to be more.
And that's
what's awful about that is we have to have those conversations not only with teenagers, but we have to have those conversations with children. And I'm learning that it starts at age 5. Like, we're starting now having those. I'm having those conversations with my son. Son, you can't do what Max does, because
we watched Sandra Bland. My daughter and I, we watched the Sandra Bland story on HBO. Yeah. And I had to stop it, and she was in tears. But this is the reality of it's not just happening to boys, it's happening to everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we are going to take a quick commercial break. We will be right back, y'all, with more of The Curve. Hey guys, we are back with more of the Curve. So listen, I can't remember if it was last week or week before last, but we talked about all the many designers who were participating in foolishness and shenanigans.
Stupidity and ignorance.
Gucci, Burberry, like the list could go on and on and on. But what we did in order to highlight, that's a good word. I was gonna say something else, but in order to highlight, I wanted to give you guys 5 black designers who also cater to women of all sizes that you can support instead of going to your Pradas and your Gucci's and your Burberry's. And we talked about this also when we talked about trigger warning, how we need to buy black and support black and all that good stuff. So I've got,
they are luxury designers.
These are all luxury designers. So this is not your ready to wear. This is not Fashion Nova.
Yes.
Children, this is not Fashion Nova. All of these are luxury designers who use high quality material. They've all been to school. They've all worked in the industry. And so I wanted to give you guys some wonderful folks who I found. Now listen, this took a little bit of research on my part. I'm not going to lie to you people. These people did not pop up. I had to dig deep, had to dig and find. But what I did do was make sure I got references of people who have actually purchased their clothing, who've actually used their clothes and who've actually worn them and who love their brand. So the first chick that I found who is simply amazing, her name is Theory Sims, and have y'all heard of Theory?
Yes, I have.
I didn't know anything about Theory. Yeah. Listen, her site is uTheory Kimmer. Her site is uTheory Kimmer, but she specializes in sizes 10 to 28, I believe. And I was amazed by her line of clothes. You can tell that she has worked in somebody's. Yeah, it's well thought out. She's worked in somebody's fashion house somewhere. She's worked under somebody because she is. I loved her line. So my favorite designer out of all of these designers that I have picked is Sean Melson. Are you a Sean Melson wearer?
Honey, I have a bunch of Sean Melson stuff.
Listen. Yes. So listen.
Known for the skater dress.
The skater dress.
Skater dress.
Everything.
I have it in 5 different colors.
You have 5 different colors?
I have 5 different colors.
Listen, I'm here for it. So Sean, listen, if you want to send us some clothes so we can wear them, please understand that I am a huge fan of your work because she caters to women of all sizes. So, and she specifically in her marketing, she has the same dress on 2 different body types.
Absolutely.
So that you understand and you know this dress could look good on me and your friend, you know?
And not just, and one thing I think a demographic that we skip over a lot of times is to me, she has executed how to dress the tall woman, whether thin or whether curvy, because she's dressed Monica, as well as some I've seen.
Monica the rapper?
Monica the singer. You know, she's almost 6 feet tall.
I didn't know that.
She's very tall. She's very tall. And she's tall and she's thin. However, she has dressed her as well as some of the WNBA players. She has dressed some of the women wrestlers. And so you can see, that's why she's my go-to person.
Okay.
I just know she's dressed Regina, and I love all of Regina's clothes. Miss Regina Sunshine comes in here every day, and I don't know if they're all Sean Melson, but she on point.
She is
all the time.
Yeah, she has a great dress. She has a great maxi dress. So go to her site. She's got wonderful clothes. And the other thing I love about her, she also does high lows. Like, so she has some really great luxury items, but she's also got some affordable pieces for those of us who are balling on a budget. If you're balling on a budget, she can also dress you.
She puts some of her stuff on sale. I like a good sale.
Oh, that's true. She does.
I'm a discount queen right there.
Who are the other people?
So if you're looking for funky clothes, like if you're looking for something a little bit different, you need a little something more avant-garde, you're going to look for Tamara Mollis. This is a designer. She has been on the scene since 2015. She's amazing. She's got all your new funky pieces. She does some trendy, some classic. But she's been on the scene for a minute. Also somebody who is trained at a fashion house. She does, again, sizes, I believe, 8 to 28. All of these designers are very straight size and plus size clothing. So any of these designers are going to be people that you can go to. But if you want funky, avant-garde kind of, fashion you're not going to see everywhere every day, Tamara Mollis is going to be your chick. Now, I think that one of the pioneers of this industry is this next lady, who, I don't know if you've ever wore her clothes. And this was the first, like super duper expensive dress I ever purchased. And that is by Monif C. Have you heard of her? Never. She is amazing. She uses wonderful fabrics. She was one of the first plus size designers I can ever remember kind of being on the scene. And she would come out with a line. She would market specifically to women in the African American community because everybody's got curves. And her clothes fits curvy women amazingly. She's specifically, she's been on the scene forever. I can remember when I first got curvy back in college. Monif C was, that's when I first got curvy, girl. When I first got curvy, Monif C had an amazing line out. Now I couldn't afford none of them clothes in college, but as I continue, as my bank account started to grow,
check.
Come on, refund check. Come on, refund check.
Please don't spend your whole refund check.
Not your whole refund check. But listen,
we're being redeemed.
Buy yourself one nice item from Mona C because she has amazing clothes. So last but not least, a very new designer on the scene. She has ready-to-wear clothes, but again, they're high quality. She uses really great quality fabric. Her name is Elan Zelli, and she is kind of the trendy new fashion designer on the scene. She sells specifically online. She does not have like most of the ladies who I've talked about. They all sell online, but they also have like a store. They have a store for a brick and mortar. Elan Zelli, she does not have a brick and mortar, but her stuff is gorgeous. So you can find her at zelliforshe.com. Her styles are amazing. I love everything that she has. Everything she's put out so far has been really, really cute. And like,
let's shout out these men.
What man? We're going to shout out.
Okay, so 2 people that I know of.
Okay.
One person that I've ordered something from his new online store because he did pop-up shops, and that's Jay Bolin.
Oh, okay.
Jay Bolin. Jay Bolin now has an online shop where you can go and you can order. I've ordered some tops, and they were really nice.
Okay.
And another person that I want to shout out is a personal friend of mine.
Hey, personal friend.
His name, you can follow him on Instagram. His name is Ashley Sean Thomas.
Okay.
And he has dressed everyone from Toni Braxton, Tamar Braxton, Shaka Khan, Niecy Nash.
You know Niecy's one of my favorite curvy girls.
Yes, Niecy Nash, Amber Riley. He's done some things with Queen Latifah, Beyonce.
Okay.
He's worked from her. Don't sleep on Flint.
Don't sleep on Flint.
Don't sleep on Flint. We grew up together. And
Tell me his name again.
Ashley Sean Thomas.
Ashley Sean.
Send me their information because I'm going to put this on our website tomorrow.
Okay.
So y'all can get all the information.
And Ashley, send me something so I can sample it, and then I too can be a believer.
Right.
Yes.
Dresses from spreads in Vogue.
Okay.
You name it, he's dressed them. And so I've kind of taken tidbits here and there.
Okay.
Pieces of what they look like. Especially he did an amazing job when Niecy Nash, he was contracted with her when she transformed from the new show that she's on to the old show where she had the bikini of her butt. What was that called? 911 or whatever.
Claws?
Not Claws.
It's
the one she
Reno
did.
911.
Reno 911.
Okay.
So when they did they basically re-imaged her.
Yeah.
When she went from Reno 911 to Claws, he was the person that helped her transform.
Oh.
Her wedding dresses, red carpets. He dressed her and your girl Jennifer Hudson at one point in time when she transitioned from American Idol.
Mm-hmm.
That that was a transition from her.
That was a thing.
He's worked with some people with curves.
Okay.
So you can follow him and see.
Okay, well we are absolutely going to do that.
Because that Toni Braxton a little curvy too.
J Hud says she ain't curvy no more.
J Hud did say J Hud don't want to.
Honey, Toni Braxton got a thumper back there.
Does she?
Yeah, she's tiny.
She is a tiny woman.
But you have to remember, in order to dress someone that's petite, you gotta know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's true.
And so those are, but I mean, both of them, I like them both. But Jay Bolin, I've definitely ordered stuff. And Fashion Junkie.
Okay.
Fashion Junkie, she's out of Detroit.
Well, she has a blog.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And they rehab sweaters.
Yes.
And so they did Tyra Banks. She's done a couple for Tamia. She's done a couple for. She dressed Nene.
Mm-hmm.
Nene before everyone kind of went on this whole journey of weight loss. She worked with a lot of them.
Oh.
Couture thing.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Go ahead, Ashley.
Yeah.
Ashley, send me some stuff. All right. So we on our way home, girls. We are on our way home.
Coming around that curve.
Then we are coming around the curve, y'all. And it is time now for a toast to you. All right, so last but not least, I want to send a special Curvy Girl shout out to my girl, Adie Bryant. Now, if you don't know Adie Bryant, she is currently on SNL.
Adie baby.
Mm-hmm. She is I think one of their funnier people right now because I'm struggling with Saturday Night Live right now. Like I don't really. It's not
hit or miss. It's not consistent.
It's not consistent. But I do know her sketches are consistent. Really excited. So she has a movie, a new show coming out on Hulu, exclusively on Hulu. It's not out yet. It'll be out soon. Did you get a date?
March, I want to say 15th.
March 15th. Okay. The show is called Shrill. So it's loosely based on things that have happened in her life. It is the journey of her name on the show is Anne, I believe. And she is going, her name on the show is Anne. And she is going to be, it is her journey of self-love and it's a comedy. Based on the trailer, I think it's going to be really amazing. So I just wanted to shout out a fellow curvy girl and say a toast to you. We are so proud of you. And we will be watching on March 15th.
Yes, because I love me some Adie Bryant.
Yeah.
Because anytime they do like their girl singing videos on SNL, it's like the best.
She's hilarious.
Yeah.
She is hilarious.
And I'm like, with that show, the trailer itself, what it's showing is, women empowerment again. Mm-hmm. And my thing is also, it's like we as women have to stop putting ourselves down.
Absolutely.
We have to, stop thinking that everyone else's opinion matters, because it doesn't. No one opinion matters except your own, And another thing is like in the preview, the trailer, she goes to this pool party, and it's a pool party for I think it said for fat something or other, but it's for you to go there and just be yourself and not have to worry about anybody else. And I just think people need to walk through their life like that. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna be me, and you can have a problem with me, but I am still going to be me because that's who I am.
I just had an idea. Maybe the Curve should throw a plus size pool party for the summertime.
Whoop whoop.
Yes, don't look at me like that.
Listen,
we get thongs.
Thongs.
Thongs, yes.
In between my toes.
I don't know if they can handle all of this in the thong.
Listen,
bam.
we're gonna listen. We're gonna make it work.
They're gonna be trying to say we streaking out there.
Maybe. If you need swimwear, there is a if you need swimwear, Gabby Fresh is another designer who has out an amazing swimwear line, and you need to go check her out. She started off as a blogger. She's moved on into other things, but she is definitely a plus size curvy girl who is doing her thing in the swimsuit arena. So if you need a swimsuit, that's where you go.
I'm just saying, like, we can do it, but I'm just, I've always been thicker than a biscuit.
That's okay.
I'm just saying, at this,
Buttermilk biscuit.
You know it, sopped up, had it all. But right now, I just have this thing with, I like, and maybe it might be my age, like, I like the whole suit. Like, I like a coverall. I like to look like something on my way to the pool and kind of reveal it a little bit. You know what I mean?
You like to give them a show.
Like, I like to give them a whole experience, baby. You're going to get a whole combo. Speaking of that, my daughter made me so mad the other day. Because she told me I'm too much.
Don't let your daughter steal your shine.
Steal my shine. How your own kid going to try to dim your light? That's what I'm talking about.
Don't let her dim your light. You be the most.
It is what it is.
Be you.
But yeah, I'm open to that. But I need the whole experience. Like,
we're doing it.
We're going to have to do a runway, red carpet.
Yes. Come on, red carpet.
I don't know if it's my age, but I'm ready to just take it off.
Yes.
Like,
listen,
bam.
I heard that as you approach 40, so listen, this is what.
I'm beyond 40, people.
Well, I'm saying, like, my grandmother used to tell me all the time. So at 30, life is going to make sense. And at 40, you are going to want to let go and just be free. And I was
people.
Like, Grandmama, I'm ready. I am ready.
Best life, right?
Listen.
Pool party.
We can do a pool party. I have this swimsuit that's a little motivation.
We're gonna mop
hanging up. I showed it to my sister the other day. She was like, "Oh, you're not wearing that. You're not wearing that around my boy."
So we'd already. Your sister's a hater. That's what
let me say something.
Don't be a hater.
This swimsuit.
She can't
baby,
tell you
we'll bring all the boys to the yard.
Come on, milkshake.
Hey.
We'll bring all the boys to the yard.
Let the boys come.
Let the boys come.
Right.
Let the boys come. What?
Speaking of that,
what?
Okay, this has nothing to do with what we were talking about. But remember, I kept telling y'all, these men kept coming into my Words with Friends trying to pick me up. I'm serious. It was 7 of them last week. I said, are they all on vacation with my children? But listen, so what I've done in the last 48 hours, instead of my picture, I put a picture of me and my husband. Ain't nobody want to play with me no more.
You ain't got no Words with Friends games.
I'm like, nobody don't want to play Words with Friends. So if y'all want to
maybe I need to get on Words with Friends.
Girl.
Let me get on Words with Friends.
That's
and put
the
my
new
picture
pickup thing.
That's the new pickup. Words with Friends.
I just want to play the game. I don't want to. I don't need to
download
that
tonight.
It's the new Tinder.
Yeah, new Tinder. Words with Friends.
I promise you. I'm like, people.
That's hilarious.
Please.
Yes.
So
I'm gonna have to do some social experiments.
If you don't want to be picked up, put you and your significant other in the picture so people will leave you alone.
Words with Friends.
Exactly.
I love it.
Never thought about that.
Well, guys, that is our show for tonight. What an amazing show. I love hanging out with y'all and just sitting around the table. Y'all, this has been amazing. Monday nights has been amazing. Absolutely. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Make sure that you go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. You'll just type in on the Kurve on the in the search bar, and also again make sure you hit us up on Facebook and like our page so that you can get notifications whenever we are live. Definitely for our show on Mondays, for Wind Down Wednesdays, and for Fabulous Fridays with Tony. We're going to get Melissa a day. She ain't acting right yet.
Yes, I did. I posted my motivational stuff.
Motivational Monday.
You want Monday? Listen, I'm 3M. Melissa's Motivational Monday.
Hey!
Check it out. It's something up there.
I love it. Okay, my bad. Well, Melissa is acting right. My bad. That's on me. So make sure you are catching Melissa's Motivational Mondays, Tony's Fabulous Fridays, and you can catch me on Wind Down Wednesday. As always, guys, we love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, if you have guests that you would like to see on the show, make sure that you drop them in there, tag them and drop them in the comments. I'd love to see who you think should come on the show and join us around the table. We love you guys as always. Love and light, and keep living life on the curve.
And happy birthday, Tia.
Oh!
Sister.
Happy birthday. Bye, guys.